This video goes along with drawing 34. For this drawing, you're going to need a wooden or mechanical pencil, a compass, an instruction sheet, a large sheet of paper, and a ruler. The first step says center on the paper a circle with a 2-inch radius. So for the first step, we're only going to need the compass and the pencil. Place a dot in the middle of the page. Place the middle point of the compass on the dot. Place your finger on the middle point of the compass so that the compass will rotate around your finger. And find 2-inch radius. The radius is located on the inside of the compass. It'll say 1R, 1.5R, 2R. That's the radius. Don't use the outside of the compass. Those are rulers for measurements, but not for finding the radius. So we have the 2R. Place your pencil in that point and draw a circle around your hand. Step 2, draw the horizontal and vertical diameters. So the diameters of the circle intersect the center point and go from one side of the circle to the other. So to do that, we're going to use the ruler. Line up the top of the ruler with the top of the page so that it's flat. That is to ensure that our lines are going to intersect at 90-degree angles because we know our paper is perfectly square. Now we're going to line up the side of the ruler with the side of the paper and find the center point and connect opposite ends of the circle to form our second diameter. Step 3, extend each diameter 1 inch beyond the circle. So using the ruler again, line up the ruler on the 1 and then draw it to the end of the ruler. Line up your ruler with the diameter so we know that it's straight, and then extend it 1 inch. Line up the ruler with this diameter and line it up on the 1 and extend it out 1 inch. And then line up the ruler, you have to flip it. Right here on the 1 and extend it out 1 inch. Step 4, using the new ends of the diameters as center points, draw 4 circles, each with a 1 inch radius. So each end of the diameter, make a point. That's going to be the center point of a circle with a 1 inch radius. So place the middle point on the first point. Place your finger on the middle point. The 1 inch radius is kind of hard to see. It's the first point on the compass where the C of the compass is at. You'll see a little arrow. And draw that circle with a 1 inch radius. It should come close to touching our first circle. Place the middle point on the next dot. Place your pencil on the 1R. Draw the next circle. See where it touches. Place the middle point on the third circle, or the third dot. Draw our third circle with a 1 inch radius. Place the middle point on the fourth dot and put your pencil in the 1 inch radius and draw our fourth circle. Kind of reminds me of crop circles. I wonder if we're going to have UFOs. Hopefully not. Next one is connect the center of the 4 new circles to form a square. So we're going to use the ruler and we're going to connect this point to this point. We're going to connect this point to this point. We're going to connect this point to this point. And we're going to connect this point to this point. Now we have a square that meets in the center point of each of our 4 circles. Next step, number 6, mark the midpoint of each side of the square. So what we're going to do is each side of the square, we're going to find the center. So let's measure it and see how long this square is. So we're going to put the end of our ruler on one corner and measure to the other corner, and it's almost 4.5. So the middle of that would be like, in money, like $4.50. So if we have $4.50, that would be $2.25. So that would be 2.25. And on the ruler, you have a 2 and a 3. This halfway marks 2.5, and half of that's 0.25. So that's the center of that line. And it'll be the same thing because the square has 4 equal sides. So we're going to find 2.25, make a mark there. Third side, line it up, 2.25, make a mark there. 2.25, and make our 4th mark there. Now we are on number 7. Center on each midpoint a circle with a 1-inch radius. So we're going to put the middle point on that midpoint. Put your finger on the middle point, and the 1R is right here, this first dot. Draw another 1-inch radius circle. Put the middle point on this midpoint. Put your finger on the middle point. Put the pencil on the 1R. Middle point on the midpoint. Finger on the middle point. Pencil on 1R. Middle point on the midpoint. Pencil on 1R. Okay, next step. Connect the center of each new circle to the opposite one. Well, let's see what that means. Connect the center, that's the center, of each new circle to the opposite one. Got it. So we're going to take our ruler and connect opposite sides. Connect opposite sides. Next step. Extend each radius that you have just drawn in the 4 new circles to form diameters. So right here is a radius, that's half of the circle. To make it a diameter, we're going to go to the other end, like that. That's a radius. We're going to extend it to the other end of the circle to make a diameter. Swirly. I didn't hold the ruler down hard enough. There we go. Next point. Center a circle with a 1-inch radius at the outer end of each new diameter. So we're going to put a dot here, put a dot here, put a dot here, and put a dot here. And we're going to draw a new circle with that center point. So put the middle point on this point, put your finger on the middle point, put your pencil right here on one R, and draw a circle. Put the middle point on the next point, put your finger on the middle point, put your pencil on one R, and draw the next circle. Put the middle point on the next point, put your pencil on one R, draw the next circle. Put the middle point on the next point, put your finger on the middle point, put your pencil on one R, draw the next circle. Next step. Repeat the process, extending each radius to become a diameter. So again, this is a radius. I'm going to draw it to the opposite end to create a diameter. It's a radius. I'm going to draw it to the opposite end to create a diameter. Extend this radius to the opposite end to create a diameter. And extend this radius to the opposite end to create a diameter. Now, at the end of each one of these diameters, I'm going to put a point, which will be the next center point of a circle with a 1-inch radius. So put the middle point on that point, put your finger on the middle point, put your pencil on one R, draw a circle. Put your middle point on the next point, put your finger on the middle point, put your pencil on one R, draw the next circle. Put your middle point on the next point, put your finger on the middle point, pencil on one R, draw the next circle. Put your middle point on the next point, put your finger on the middle point, pencil on the one R, draw the last circle. Okay. Next step is to color. So color neatly using markers, crayons, or colored pencils. You can outline your design with a darker color or like a crayon that has more pressure on it so that it's a darker line, and then color inside with a lighter line. You can overlap colors, like color this central circle a light color like yellow, and these circles like red, and whenever it overlaps it will look orange. You can go over your design with a Sharpie if you want and color the inside with marker and give it like a stained glass effect. Whatever you desire, just color it neatly, please.